As a woman, for me, like when I think of like being with somebody, my most important thing is safety. I want to feel like I'm protective and taken care of and understood and not look like, essentially not degraded. Those are essentially uh my most important things. But typically I want to feel like I can rely on you. That is the most important thing for me. If I don't feel like I can rely on you, then I cannot in good conscience choose, like, regardless of how I feel about somebody, I cannot choose to be with that person, regardless of if I love them or not. But I've had moments where I would feel that love, but then that person wouldn't provide me with with what made me comfortable to be in a relationship with them. And so it's like, is that love or is that not love? In the words of Hathaway, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. Baby, don't hurt me, don't hurt me no more. Just sucks that women don't feel that's okay for men to want in women. What do you mean, Mr. Universe? What do you mean? I find if you're a man to rely on a woman and stuff is a bit bad. Like, a man should do a lot of the hard stuff, especially the carrier part. I think it depends on the woman that you ask, because there's some women that don't mind, you know, like but in my experience, like, most women want to have someone to rely on. And the reason for this, like, the reason why they want, in particular, men to take control and to rely on men and to be there for them and to do most of the hard part is that if you get pregnant, you're fucked. As a woman, you get pregnant, you're fucked in every aspect. You cannot work, you cannot function with your body. You're stuck like 9 months harboring a fucking human being in you. You can't do shit. Of course you're gonna have to rely on somebody. And then you have a child, you birth a child, and you have to take care of the child. Of course you want to rely on somebody reliable that's there for you to help you. That's natural. Or you're gonna fucking have a baby who's gonna be there for you, who's gonna take care of you, who's gonna, like, that, for me, like, that's how I think. If I'm gonna have a baby, like, I better fucking be with somebody who's there for me, who's taking care of me, who's making sure that I'm okay, who's helping me. The thing is like, these types of character traits, you can discern of somebody very early on in the relationship. I'm talking about literally just being there for somebody to take care of them, not monetary, just as a human being. I don't give a shit about money. There's some women that I know, like, they're meant to rely on them, others not. It's up to the individual. Yeah, exactly, Secret. I agree with you. Is that love though, or is it evolution trying to ensure your survival? I think it's evolution trying to ensure your survival, but I think it's based off of love, because if you love somebody, you kind of want to have a baby with them. Like, if you're fully in love with somebody, you want to have a baby with them because you know you can rely on that person. And because you know you can rely on that person, you love that person. That's not the only reason why you love somebody, obviously, but it's part of the reason for women. For women, like, they need to feel safe. They need to feel like they could be taken care of at a crisis. At least for me. This is for me, personally. Like, I want to be with somebody that I know I can rely on a crisis. That, like, for me, like, I fall in love with somebody that I know that can take charge in a crisis and I can rely on them. That, it's really just that simple. Yeah, you get a lot of help from having a baby and whatnot. Anyone I know with kids have so many people around them helping. Well, see, for me, I don't have family. I have my mom and my grandparents. That's it. That's the only family I have around me. So if I have a baby right now with somebody that I cannot rely on, I'm fucked. And a lot of people are also in that boat. I'm not the only one in that boat. So I don't think every woman has the necessary help. Yeah. I think it's all encompassing. Yeah, exactly. My cousin's husband will rush back home from work to help her with their twin daughters. Yeah, that's an excellent husband. You can have love without wanting to have a kid. Yeah, of course. I think, like I was discussing before, like there are different facets to love, right? If you want to have a kid, if you fall in love with somebody, you'll have that feeling of wanting to have a kid. But also there are different types of love and there's different types of people. So it's like we could sit here and like talk about the different types of love and like all the different ways that you could love somebody and like all the different types of individuals. Of course, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. I know not everyone does, but it's a choice to be with some of the crazy men in here. Depends on the person too. Like that's the thing. Like that's why love is so complicated, because it depends on the person. It depends on the individual falling in love, and depends on their circumstances. It depends on what they value. It depends on so many different things. It depends on their hormones, on their emotions. It depends on like whatever. Love is like so encompassing. That is all for today. And everything you need to know about women. I'm just joking. Just for me, this is my opinion. Obviously it depends on the woman, right? For me, like what guarantees like me choosing to be with somebody is like being able to rely on them and being able to know that they can take charge when I can't. That makes sense? That makes sense.